Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, today we will be doing chapter 10. Chapter 10 titled The Opulence of the Absolute. Slok 10.12 and 13. 10.12 and 13. Arjun Vacha Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhava Purusham Sashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Ahustvam Rasya Sarve Devasir Naradas Tata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Shaiva Pravasima Arjun Vacha Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rasaya Sarva Devasi Naradas Tata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Pravasimam. Anyone would? Arjuna Vacha Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Adi Devam Ajam Tvam Okay, word for word translation. Arjuna Vacha. Arjun said, Param, Supreme, Brahma, Truth, Param, Supreme, Dhamma, Sustenance, Pavitra, Pure, Paramam, Supreme, Power, You, Purusha, Personality, Shashvata, Eternal, Divya, Transcendental, Adideva, the original Lord, Aja, unborn, Vibhum, greatest, Ahu, say, Twan, of you, Rasya, sages, server, all, Devarishi, the sage among the demigods, Narada, Narad, Tatha, also, Asita, Asit, Devala, Devala, Vyasa, Vyas, Swayam, personally, Cha, also, Eva, certainly, Brahmasi, you are explaining, Ma, unto me. Okay, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages, such as Narad, Sita, Devala, and Vyas, confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. Purport. In these two verses, the Supreme Lord gives a chance to the Mayavadi philosopher. For here it is clear that the Supreme is different from the individual soul. Arjuna, after hearing the essential 4 verses of the Bhagavad Gita in this chapter, became completely free from all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He at once boldly declares, you are Param Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And previously Krishna stated that he is the originator of everything and everyone. Every demigod and every human being is dependent on him. Man and demigods, out of ignorance, think they are absolute and independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That ignorance is removed perfectly by the discharge of devotional service. This has already been explained in the previous verse by the Lord. Now, by His grace, Arjuna is accepting Him as the supreme truth in concurrence with the Vedic injunction. It is not that because Krishna is Arjuna's intimate friend, Arjuna is flattering him by calling him the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Whatever Arjuna says in these 2 verses is confirmed by Vedic truth. Vedic injunctions affirm that only one who takes to devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand Him, whereas others cannot. Each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction. In the Kena Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Brahma is rest for everything. And Krishna has already explained that everything is resting on Him. The Mandaka Upanishad confirms that the Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of Him. This constant thinking of Krishna is smarana, one of the matters of devotional service. It is only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand His position and get rid of this material body. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is accepted as the purest of the pure. One who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure can become purified from all sinful activities. One cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. Arjuna's acceptance of Krishna as a supreme, pure, complies with the injunctions of Vedic literature. This is also confirmed by great personalities, of whom Narad is the chief. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. He is the supreme existence. He is free from bodily needs, birth and death. Not only does Arjuna confirm this, but all the Vedic literatures, the Puranas and histories, in all Vedic literature, Krishna is thus described. And the Supreme Lord himself also says in the 4th chapter, although I am unborn, I appear on this earth to establish religious principles. He is the supreme origin. He has no cause, for he is the cause of all causes, and everything is emanating from him. This perfect knowledge can be had by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these 2 verses. This is called the Parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence in the Vedic literatures, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanajnanastalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padatikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurate Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishakanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalparubhyascha Kripa Sindhabhyo Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Arjuna Vacha Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Purusham Sasvatam Divyam Adi Devam Kajam Vibhum Ahusvam Rasaya Sarva Devasir Narada Tatha Asito Devala Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Ravasi. The very first word of this sloka is Arjuna Vacha. In these 2 slokas, Arjuna is summarizing all the knowledge he has received from Lord Krishna. Right from the beginning till this chapter. So he had not spoken in between. He had spoken only to ask questions. Right? The last time he spoke was in Slok 8.2. That was the last time. Now we are in 10.12. So a lot of space Bhagavan has been explaining all the times. So what is he summarizing? Because in Slok 2.7, when he was in the midst of the fighting between the 2 armies, he was totally confused. So he requests in 2.7, now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So this is what he wanted to know from that point. What is he supposed to be doing? We were discussing this time. That is the spiritual knowledge which is to be imparted onto him. So Bhagwan has been explaining in various levels in order to guide a person through various stages. So we had gone through before first of all, the confidential knowledge. We were talking about the confidential knowledge. That knowledge is what has been given in chapters 2 and 3, which is basically to find out the difference between the body and soul. Because the entire confusion starts when you associate yourself with this body. You are not this body. You are a soul which is entrapped within the body. So this is a cause of all the confusion which Arjuna had and which all of us has as well. So studying of the Gita is much more important. So first is confidential knowledge, explaining the difference between the body and the soul. Then there was more confidential knowledge which was given in chapters 7 and 8, which is the knowledge of the Absolute and how to attain Supreme. Right? Knowledge of the Absolute and how to attain Supreme. That is still theoretical knowledge. It is knowledge which has been given, but it has not been put into practice. So then the most confidential knowledge has been given, which is in that chapter 9, which was how to convert that knowledge into realization. That you are not this body. You are a soul. And what is the purpose of the soul? What it has to do, how it has to do, is all been given. So that is the knowledge which has been imparted to him. Then, in the last 4 slokas before this, we came to the essence of Gita. The essence of Gita has been summarized. The whole sequence of events which are supposed to be there has been summarized in 4 slokas. From 10.8, 10.9, 10.10, 10.11. Now the first stage is Sabandh. Is you have to establish a relationship with the God. That is the first stage. So Bhagavan is saying, who are you? Who am I? What is our relationship between the two of us? Right? That is Sabandh. Right? The second stage is Abhideya, is practice and application such knowledge in daily life. So the second part is then, having got that knowledge, how to start applying it. Now, for any situation, you have these 3 stages. Even if you go to a university or something, you have a course. This is what you are to do. Now you are taught how you are going to achieve this. But having reached that level, you must see the benefit of it. And the benefit comes at the end is prayojana. Prayojana is the benefit of doing this devotional service. And the pure spiritual consciousness and unbound love of God. That is what is established. So you have 3 states, Sabandh, then Abhideya and Prayojana. So this is knowledge which was given in the last sloka of yesterday we were doing in 10.9. So all this has been given. And so now Arjuna is basically summarizing the entire knowledge which was there by using a few of the terms which have been used. Right? So the first he says, so what was said by Arjuna about Krishna? Param Brahma is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? That he is the Supreme Personality. All this has been later explained. I've just read through. It comes in the later part of the things. But He is the Supreme Person of Godhead. There is no one above Him. All are under Him. Then there is Param Dhamma, Supreme Abode or ultimate destination. What is our ultimate destination? Now that is His Dham. Bhagwan's Dham is our ultimate final destination where we should be aiming for. Then there is Pavitra, the purest. There cannot be anyone more pure than Krishna. So that is what he has been explaining, is putting all these words, explaining that this is the knowledge which I've gained throughout all this time you've been talking to me. Paramam Bhav, absolute truth. Absolute truth is something which is like Supreme Personality of Godhead only. It is that it is unchangeable. It cannot change forever. Then Purusham Sasvatam, eternal personality. We are all eternal souls. Our bodies will perish. We will not last for a long time. But if we don't go back to Godhead, then we have to take on another body, another material body. And that routine keeps on, the cycle keeps on going. Birth, death cycle is continuous. There is no way out of it unless and until you do devotional service, bhakti, and then we have a chance to go back to Godhead. So Divyam is transcendental. We are transcendental beings. Adidevam, original Lord. That is the first and is the cause of all causes. And He has no cause himself. Ajam, He is unborn. Right? His body does not change. Our bodies change. His body, Bhagwan's body does not change. Vibhum is the greatest. So, a few of the words which has been used explains the knowledge which he has gained. That is what Arjuna is trying to say in this sloka. So, the first line of this sloka says, in these two verses, the Supreme Lord gives a chance to the Mayavadi philosopher. For here it is clear that the Supreme is different from the individual soul. That line initially was a little confusing as to what it meant, but it is very clear that it is talking about that all of us have separate identities. We will never, ever merge with Bhagwan. Like Mayavadis mentioned that you will merge with Bhagwan. When you go or when you get moksha or nirvana or something, you will not merge. You will have a separate identity. If Bhagwan is there, you are separate. Right? So the Mayavadis theory is completely refuted because you are talking about the greatest personality of Godhead. So he is talking about a person. That is what this sloka is talking about. So the first line, which by Prabhu has written, is very clear. Now the question arises that Arjuna is mentioning all these things. Now, is it because he is Krishna's intimate friend? That is why he is flattering him. Right? But then he says that it is not only I who is saying it. All these great personalities who are there, Asita, Devala and Vyas confirm the truth about you. And even you are telling me that this is what it is. So I believe you implicitly. So that is what it is stated here that the Supreme Person, Brahman, is the rest for everything. That has been stated in the second or third paragraph. Everything is resting on Him. That also has been confirmed earlier in sloka 7.7, when he says, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread. Like you have a garland, there are various flowers on top. You can see the flowers, you can see the beauty of the flowers on top. But the thread holding the thing, everything together is Krishna. That is what he's saying. That everything is rests on you. Whatever you see is just what your eyes can see. But everything is managed, maintained by me. So this is the resting which he's talking about in this sloka. Then it says that all this can be achieved by the constant thinking of Krishna. No other solution has been given. Only by performing devotional service onto Krishna can you manage to reach or understand Krishna. Smarana has been given. It's one of the methods of devotional service. There are 9 different methods of devotional service. The most important one is Smarana as well. So only by devotional service we can understand Krishna. This knowledge has been passed down by Parampara system, disciplic succession. So it is perfect knowledge. It comes from a guru and it is passed down. When that person becomes a guru, it comes down. So it is all perfect, pure knowledge. Right? So I think that's about it. Hare Krishna. This is the crux of the whole sloka. Hare Krishna. Granth Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions, then Prabhuji is here as well.